We are at St. Rose de Lima Cemetery in the Aldenville section or neighborhood of Chicopee, Massachusetts. And this cemetery is made by the St. Rose de Lima Church, but it also serves the parishioners of the St. George Church, which used to be called the St. Georgine Church, which is in the Falls section of Chicopee. And it also serves the Nativity Church of Chicopee, which is located in the Willimantic section. And so there's a lot of people buried here that went to those churches. And there's a lot of pastors buried here that served in those other two churches. And so this is one of the few cemeteries that has two priest circles. You see Mary in the middle, and it's a memorial in the memory of the innocent victims of abortion, Knights of Columbus. And we're only going to stop at a few of these pastures as we go around. And we might as well start with the first one in front of us. We'll go up to it. And I think what happens, either some of these priests served as assistant pastors in Chicopee and they moved onwards, or they were born in Chicopee and they moved onwards, or they just loved the beauty of the cemetery and they told their families, I wanted to be buried here. This is Reverend Albert Beaudry, died in 1981. He was a pastor of Notre Dame Church in Pittsfield from 1949 to 1966. All right, so that's not associated with Chicopee, but who knows, maybe he was born in Chicopee. But a name like that is quite possible. So we'll go around. This is Reverend Leon Sauvageau, 1900 to 1990. And I know for sure he served two Catholic churches in Chicopee. He served the St. George Church and he served the Nativity Church. So he was the head pastor of both those churches at different times. And so he has a strong connection. And so a lot of his parishioners are buried in this cemetery. So it's hard to tell on most of these stones where they served. I've done a lot of research. And it's hard to find where they served. And at least in his case, I was able to find the obituary and find out that he served in Chicopee. Okay, we're in front of Reverend Ernest Moreau, and it says on the masonry stone in front that he was ordained in 1951 and he died in the year 2000. Now, if you look at the plaque right in front, it says he was a colonel in the U.S. Air Force, Vietnam, as a Catholic chaplain. Okay, that means he went to Vietnam to serve, and he was in the Air Force section. And all chaplains are priests or pastors that serve within the United States military in one of the 6 possible units. And he served in the war, the Vietnam War. And every chaplain, and chaplains have existed since World War I, has to be an officer. That means you have to go to officer training school after you've gone to religious school. Now, religious school is 4 years college, 4 years of divinity school. That's 8 years of education. And some get a PhD after that, but that's optional. It's 8 years of education. And then, if you want to be in the military, you have to go to officer school. And that's usually another 6 months of training where you train to fight and you train to lead both. And then he entered the Vietnam War, and he probably served many military men during the course of the Vietnam War. Okay, this one says Eugene Plasse, and he was a sergeant in the U.S. Army and a beloved priest, a brother and uncle. Now, he says ordained 1972, but it also says his birth 1940. Now, that's a large space of years for being ordained. I believe in his case, and due to his rank, I believe what happened, he was a private in the U.S. Army, and after he got out, probably out of the Vietnam War, he was ordained a priest. And so that's why at 32 years old, he was ordained a priest instead of 26 years old.
Sorry, pause.